Hello music monkeys and welcome to Lesson 3, Good Vibrations. In the previous lesson we learned that when regularly constituted things vibrate, they produce regular sound waves and we perceive this as a musical tone. The example I used was a piano string, but that's not the only example. There are other things such as a column of air as in brass or woodwind instruments, a column of steel as in tubular bells, a metal bar as in a vibraphone, a solid wooden block as in a marimba, or even a stretched animal skin as in kettle drums. Okay, so let's go back to the piano and take a closer look at a piano string and see what happens when that starts to vibrate. When the hammer hits the string, it starts vibrating and the vibrations travel down the length of the string. When the vibrations hit the end of the string, they get reflected back up the string, much like the waves in the pond in the previous lesson. Now, if you remember, if the peak of a wave hits the peak of another wave going the other way at exactly the same time, the resulting wave is bigger. And if the peak of a wave hits the trough of another wave at exactly the same time, the resulting wave is cancelled out. And this is exactly what we get in the string, as can be seen here by the red wave. So the string actually starts to vibrate like this. This is called a standing wave. It's called a standing wave because the waves are standing still. Well, here we are inside the piano, and that big fat string you can see up there is the bottom A string. Okay, you can hit the key now. When the hammer hits the string starts to vibrate, and you can just make out it wibbling and wobbling around all over the place. But where are those lovely standing waves I was just talking about? Well, the truth of the matter is that the way that the string vibrates is a little more complex than that. Sorry, there was some weird insect in the piano. Whenever anything with a regular constitution vibrates, it vibrates in a particular way according to the laws of physics. Whether it's a string such as a piano or a guitar or violin or cello, or a column of air as in a brass or woodwind instrument, or a tube of steel, they all vibrate according to the same laws. So, going back to a piano string then, when the hammer hits the string, it actually sets up a standing wave the full length of the string like this. But it doesn't just vibrate like that, it also vibrates like this as well. And like this. And like this. And like this. And like this. And so on, ad infinitum. The first is the main vibration and the loudest. This is the note we hear and is called the fundamental. The next has two waves, each half the length of the fundamental and vibrating twice as fast. The next has three waves, each a third the length of the fundamental and vibrating 3 times as fast. The next has four waves, each a quarter the length of the fundamental and vibrating 4 times as fast. The next has 5 waves, each a fifth the length of the fundamental and vibrating 5 times as fast. The next has 6 waves, each a sixth the length of the fundamental and vibrating 6 times as fast. And so on, ad infinitum. The red dots are actually called nodes, and these are points where the string is stationary as a result of the waves cancelling each other out at those particular points. Going back to the piano string for a moment then. When the hammer hits the string, it starts vibrating with all of these standing waves going on at the same time. As I mentioned earlier, the biggest wave is the fundamental, and this is the note we hear. All musical tones we hear, with very few exceptions, vibrate according to this law. This is called the harmonic series, and forms the bedrock of all musical harmony. In reality, as there is only one string, all of these vibrations get added together. So as you can see, the way it actually moves is quite complex, And this explains the peculiar wibbling and wobbling we saw earlier with the A string inside the piano. Pudge up. Oh, sorry, can I help you? You said that all sound is produced by vibrations. Yes, that's correct. And you've just said that the main vibration is the fundamental, and that's what we can hear. Yes, I did. So why can't we hear these other vibrations? Well, as a matter of fact, we can. And that's where things start really to get interesting. And actually, that's the topic of the next lesson, sweet harmony. So, see you there. Who are you talking to?